Hey guys, how's it going? I just want to go. I had a couple of you guys email me saying that you're having a hard time with the independent events, dependent events, which is fine. We have all the time to go over this if we need to over the next couple of weeks. So pretty much what you're looking for is this, okay? If you have two things happen, and it can be more than two things, but let's start with this simple. If you have two things happen, um, if they're unrelated, they are unrelated, meaning the results of the first don't impact the second, okay? Yeah, in other words, what you do on the first event doesn't at all have any effect on the outcome that you do, okay? And those are independent. Independent, okay? Yeah, they're independent. They're apart from each other, right? We think of independence as being individuality, right? So, again, if you roll dice, right? So you have two dice, you roll them. You have your first one, you get a 6. Okay? What about the second one? Well, you rolling a 6 in the first one has absolutely no impact on your second roll, right? It's a totally separate die. It has nothing to do. The results of the first, this 6, don't impact the second roll, right? And I know you guys might be thinking like, hey, like I rolled a 6, aren't I less likely to get a 6 the next time? No, absolutely not. You still have a 1 out of 6 chance of getting a 1, a 1 out of 6 chance of getting a 2, a 1 out of 6 chance of getting a 3, a 1 out of 6 chance of getting a 4, a 1 out of 6 chance of getting a 5, and a 1 out of 6 chance of getting a 6. Right? You have the exact same probability of everything happening. There was no impact. Okay. Let's say though that you're having dinner, right? Okay. So these are going to be dependent, right? And this is your second event. I shouldn't be using that word event, but that's okay. Second event is impacted by the first. Okay. So let's think about this for a second. So say you're having dinner, you're having dessert, right? There's one piece of chocolate cake, one vanilla, and one cheesecake. Yeah, cheesecake. Okay. Okay. Now it's there's 3 people at the table, right? The first person gets to choose, says, I'm going to choose the chocolate cake, right? So the first person had 3 choices. But now that that chocolate cake has been taken, the second person only has 2 choices, right? So these are dependent events. The second person, what the second person gets to choose is dependent on what the first person chooses, right? So the first person had a 3-choice thing, right? And the second person had a 2-choice thing. So if you're choosing at random, the first person has a 1 out of 3 chance of getting a chocolate. The second person, they only have a 1 out of 2 chance if it's left, okay? So again, your first one influences your second one. So this person only has 2 choices, this person only has 3. These are dependent, okay? In other words, they're not totally apart from each other. This person's choices are impacted by this person's choices. So let's take a look at a couple of events. This Hector and Isaiah are playing a game with dice. Hector rolls the first dice and Isaiah rolls the second. Are these two events independent, or are these two events dependent or independent? Well, they're independent. What Hector rolls in the first dice, it doesn't matter. It doesn't impact at all what Isaiah rolls. Okay, so these are independent events, right? So as Jason picks a card at random without putting the card back first.
Jason picks a card random.
So Jason picks a card random. Without putting the card back, he picks a second card, okay? So these are going to be dependent because, look, he pulled the card out, right? But then he doesn't put it back, okay? So on the first try, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 9 choices. On the second one, though, there's only 8 cards left because he chose that first one. He kept it, right? So again, these two are different choices. The first one has a choice out of 9. The second one only has a choice out of 8. So these are dependent events, okay? Adele, she sings songs about love and loss. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Adele picks a marble at random. Without putting the first marble back, she picks a second marble at random. Again, dependent. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 marbles, right? After the first one, there's only 8 marbles left. So the second choice, you only have 8. Therefore, it depends on what you got on the first one. Okay? The librarian is tallying the results from a survey that asks patrons how the library should spend its extra funds. The first survey she picks up suggests longer hours. The second survey asks for more librarians. Are these two events independent or are they dependent? It doesn't say anything about her putting it back, right? So I guess we can assume librarian is telling results from a survey. The first survey she picks up suggests longer hours. The second survey asks for more librarians. No, these are independent, right? The results of the first one really she's just tallying the results, okay? So the first survey suggests longer hours. The second survey asks for more librarians. These are independent events. They have nothing to do with each other, okay? So again, like I said, we'll do 1 or 2 more. Students in a 5th grade class are writing reports on famous inventor. Each student may choose 1 inventor from a list, so they can only choose 1 off a list. The teacher does not want any repeats, okay? So once someone's taken, you can't pick them anymore, right? Josiah chooses first, followed by Trent. Are these two events dependent or independent? Well, they're dependent, right? So Josiah chooses first, so he has a choice of everybody on the list. Let's say Josiah chooses, I don't know, Tesla, right? He chooses Tesla. Well, that means that Trent can't choose Nikola Tesla, right? He's got to choose from the rest of the people on the list, right? So these would be dependent because what Josiah chooses impacts what Trent's doing, okay? So anyway, I hope that clarifies things for you. Here again, Justin picks a marble at random and then puts it back. So Justin picks a marble at random, then puts it back, and then picks another marble at random. Well, the first choice he had 6, then he put it back. So he had a choice of 6 again, right? So these are independent events. They have no impact on each other because he put the marble back. He had 6 the first time and 6 the second time. So anyway, I hope that clarifies things for you. If not, I'll gladly go over it some more if you guys. No big deal. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.